Hi guys, welcome to today's class. We are going to be doing some hips today. A nice hip flow, nothing too crazy. I am running a couple of minutes late because I'm trying to figure out my mic. I got feedback last week that the mic wasn't really working all that great, or the sound wasn't working all that great. So I looked into it. It was good, and then it wasn't, and then it was. So as we go along. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear me. And if not, let me know. Either send me an email if you have my email. It's hello at or Veronica at curiousmonki.com, or just leave me a comment in the YouTube video. Then I can look into some of the troubleshooting that I can do for tech. Anyways, on to today's class. I am so excited for you to be here with you today. As I've expressed to you many times, this is really very much a highlight of my week to be here with you. All right. I hope you had a good weekend. We're doing this on a Monday. And without further ado, let's get into our hip opening flow. But as always, we start with grounding. Get your legs crossed into Sukhasana. Again, if your knees are sore or injured, stretch them out in front of you again. If you have soreness in that low back, take a block, place it underneath your sit bones. Give yourself a little bit of height, a little bit of length. And once you've settled, hands cup over your knees or palms face the sky. Inhale. And exhale, allow your eyes to gently close. Tuning into your breath, giving yourself permission to arrive. Allowing a sense of ease to take over as you allow your shoulders to soften away from your ears, your arms to hang heavy right atop your knees. Your hips and your inner leg line have this kind of relaxing quality about it. And all at the same time, keep this kind of harmony within you, this yin and this yang, have a sense of energy within you. Almost like as if there's this energy stirring at the base of your spine. You can feel that sense of aliveness rise up through your spine and even up past the crown of your head. And as you feel that stretching out through the crown of your head, you sit a little taller. Perfect. And as you give yourself more breaths to arrive, it's almost like as if you can feel yourself arriving into your body, this kind of sinking back in of noticing how substantial your sit bone feels against the mat or the earth underneath you. Noticing the overall sensations in your body. Noticing your breath. Do a body scan from your head all the way down to your toes. And just take stock, take inventory of how you're doing today. What parts of you are feeling a little bit sore or tired and it needs rest? And what parts of you are feeling a little sore, a little tired, and it needs to be energized, needs to be moved and worked and challenged a little bit? And then draw attention into that monkey mind. How is that monkey mind doing today? Some days it can be a little rambunctious. Maybe we might even call it a drunk monkey mind. A little flighty, and other days it might be okay. You can imagine your little monkey sitting quietly and peacefully in the forest or in a chair. Never judging it. There's no need to judge. It's simply awareness that we're looking for because it's in awareness that we can choose to change it if we so wish. And if there seems to be to do lists rolling through your mind, maybe some fires that you had to put out earlier this morning, or any other extracurricular thoughts, let's use our breath. Our breath will always anchor us. So let's start off with one releasing breath to let go of all that does not serve. A long, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale. Slide out through your mouth, letting it all go. Let's do one more. Long, deep inhale through your nose. And don't hold back. Exhale, sigh it out through your mouth, letting it all go and almost noticing it leaving your body as the tension also leaves your body. As you resume breathing, allow your breath to be long and full. Allow each inhale to be an inhale for revitalizing all of your insides. And the exhale to simply release all that does not serve you, stale air. A couple more of breaths like this and keep a sense of energy about it. Inhale, revitalizing, restoring every single cell in your body, replenishing. And exhale, just letting go of all that does not serve you, any oldness, staleness, stagnation. Inhale, revitalize. Exhale, let go. And now that you have a better sense of where you're at today, your body, your mind, and your breath, you now can choose the variations throughout your practice that's going to make the best out of your practice for you. And as I say so often, it's not about whether or not you can get into a particular posture. The wisdom of your yoga practice is in knowing what you need and allowing yourself to have that. Okay, next inhale and an energized inhale as you flutter your eyes open, arms up toward the sky, stretch up, reach up, maybe from sway from side to side if that feels good. Eventually, plant your right hand down and allow that left arm to come up and overhead. Press your right hand into the ground. Doesn't have to be very strenuous, just enough so that you can feel the opening through your left side body and watch where that left shoulder is. If you're rolling forward, gently tuck it back. Inhale, reach up, rise up, stretch up. Left hand comes down, right arm up and overhead. Press that left hand into the ground. Allow your right rib cage to peel open, stretch open. You know, when you sit for a very long time and it feels like as if your ribs are glued together, undo that gluing together. And keep a sense of ease through your right shoulder. Inhale, rise up, reach up, stretch up. Nice. Right hand comes back down for round two. Left arm up and overhead. This time, if it feels good, you can press your right hand into the ground, or perhaps you come down onto your right elbow, but only if both sit bones remain on the mat. Breathe into the left side body. One big breath into your left lung. And inhale, reach up, rise up, left hand comes down, right arm up and overhead. Take the variation that feels the best for you, either pressing that left hand into the ground or allowing your left elbow to come down onto the ground. I've got my blocks with me so that I can show you variations. You don't actually need blocks or books for this, but if you know that you do like to use them as part of your practice, I will offer up options today. free to use them. Inhale, rise up, reach all the way up, both hands up toward the sky, stretch up, reach up, and then draw your hands toward the center of the room. Tuck your belly button into your spine and round your back. Opening up that backside, opening up that shoulder. Inhale, arms come all the way up and take a gentle twist. Left hand over your right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist. Inhale, both hands come up and twist the other side. Right hand over the left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist. Let the twist come from your torso, not so much the neck. Inhale, come on back to center. And because we're doing lower body focus, draw your knees together. Let's warm up the hips a little bit. Your hands can be out behind you and create a little triangle with your feet or with your legs by drawing your feet toward the outer edges of the mat. Then we just simply, nice and easy, windshield, nice and gentle. And this is a good way to gauge how your hips are feeling. If they're tight, your legs aren't going to go very far. Maybe even your IT bends. And eventually, next time that your feet fall over toward the right hand side, allow both legs to come down. You don't have to force them down, just however far they want to go right now. Inhale, legs come to center and allow them to drift off toward the left hand side. Again, you don't have to force them down, just however far they want to go right now. Inhale, knees come back to center. Sweep your feet out behind you, hands out in front of you. You know where we're going, cat-cows. I don't know, have I done a sequence yet without cat-cows? Inhale, tailbone to the sky, gaze up to the ceiling, and exhale, round your back. I love the cat-cows so much because it helps warm up your spine. And it helps bring in the sense of body awareness. This body awareness is really going to help you practice safely. Not only that, but it helps you get in tune with this inner world. Because at the heart of yoga, beyond these poses that we're doing, what the practice of yoga really is getting you connected to your inner world. So that you don't feel like as if you're being dragged around like a rag doll, depending on the circumstances of the external world. That even when the waves are tumultuous above the ocean surface, you can remain at the heart of the ocean with this ever-present sense of, or ever sense of present calm and clarity. Okay, on that, in the spirit of body awareness, begin to free flow. Move in any direction now that feels good to you. You can make stuff up, play around with it. What does it feel like with your toes tucked under? What does it feel like if you had your tops of your feet on the mat? Make stuff up, maybe swaying from side to side, wag the tail. You can stretch out an arm. You can stretch out a leg if you're ready to activate that core. 3 more breaths. Nice, come back to tabletop position. Tuck your toes underneath the mat and hips up toward the sky. Your very first downward dog of the day. So pedal it out. Draw in your right knee, then your left, or left, then right. Bringing a sense of freedom, a sense of openness to the back leg line. Eventually, you'll find stillness. And when you do, work on that foundation. Give yourself a check. Are your hands shoulder distance apart? Are your feet about hip distance apart? And then next, check your fingers, that your fingers are slightly webbed, not unnaturally so, but just slightly so that there's space between them. And so important, press down through your fingertips and your knuckles so that your wrist doesn't have to take the brunt of the weight, so that you're not hurting your wrists. And then lift up high up onto your tippy toes, all the way up. Exhale, press your heels back down. They may or may not touch the mat, and that's okay. Lift your hips up toward the sky. Point your backs of the legs toward the wall behind you, and press your hands down and up into the mat. Lengthen that spine. Long, deep inhale. And exhale, walk your feet up toward your hands. Ragdoll. Opposite hand to opposite elbow. We're not going to completely neglect that upper body today. We'll give it a bit of love. Rock your body from side to side and up and down. And this is your opportunity here to open up that upper body area, letting space come in between your neck and your shoulders. Shake your head yes and no. And eventually allow your arms to completely dangle. Shake off anything else that might be gripping or that might be holding tension. Then inhale, flat back, hands on the floor or hands on your shins. Look straight. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arms up toward the sky, hands to heart center, palms face forward, Tadasana, your mountain pose. And let's warm up with one Namaste. Inhale, arms up toward the sky, gaze between your thumbs, and exhale, swan dive down toward the ground. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, hop or step toward the back of the mat. Flow through, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale that right leg up toward the sky. Allow that heel to point up toward the sky as you square your hips toward the top of the mat or down toward the mat. Keep lifting up through the right heel and then bring a bend into that right knee. Now peel open into that right hip, allowing this to feel good as you open up the right hip and right side body. At the same time, draw your left ear away from your left shoulder, right ear away from your right shoulder. Bring that leg back to center, lengthen it out behind you. Exhale, right knee toward your chest. A little bit of core activation here. Gaze toward the top of the mat. Nice, slow, and controlled. Plant the sole of that right foot in between both hands. Nice, you did it. You find yourself in low lunge. Stick around here as you give your left hip flexor a little bit of an opportunity to open up. Again, you can always be on your left knee if you'd like. And let's flow. Exhale, straighten out that right leg, nose to your right shin. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, nose to shin. Inhale, high lunge. Nice, last one. Exhale, nose to shin. Inhale, high lunge. Let's do one more. Exhale, nose to shin. We're really going to get our hammies because we're doing hips and hammies today. Pick up your right toes so that you're on the heel of that right foot and only take as much as you need. This might be a good place for you to use your blocks or your books for a little bit of height, a little bit of support if that's what you need, if that's what you'd like. And then inhale, come on back, low runner's lunge, nice. Plant the left hand toward the inner edge of that right foot and right hand up toward the sky. Twisting. Notice that right shoulder stacking over top of the left. And next, exhale, both hands toward the center of the mat, right foot toward the outer edge of the mat, and gently allow that left knee to come down. Now we're really opening up that left hip flexor and also getting into the right hip a little bit. Right hand to right knee, gaze past that right leg. Long, deep breaths. Long, deep inhale. And exhale. Two more long, deep inhale. And exhale. And then both hands come on back to center. Right foot comes all the way back to center. Tuck your left toes underneath the mat. Lift that left knee up and inhale, rise up, windmill your hands up to warrior two. Keep that right knee engaged. So much right leg engaged. So much so that right knee might even come in line with your right ankle. Arms right wide out beside you. Nice, strong warrior two. Exhale, straighten out that right leg. Both hands reach up toward the sky. And next breath, exhale, open up. Inhale, reach up and straighten out that right leg. Exhale, open up. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, warrior two. Nice. Keep on going. Extended side angle, right elbow on your right leg. And inhale, left arm up over your left ear. This is one variation. If you prefer to take a different variation, you can always open up your wings. And because we're focusing on our hips and hamstrings today, notice what each variation does for your hips. And choose the one that feels the best. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Straighten out that right leg. Pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat. Hands to either side of your hips. And exhale, wide-legged forward. Fold the crown of your head toward the edge of the mat. Eventually, your hands come down onto a block or onto the ground. If it's very easy for you to plant your palms or hands onto the mat and you want more, then maybe you come down onto your elbows. All the while, notice the opening through your inner leg line. It's almost like as if it wraps from your inner leg line toward the outer edges of your calves and shoots out your pinky toes. And all the while, this is another place for some upper body love. Allow space between your neck and your shoulders. And then the palms of your hands come back toward the center of the mat. Tone your belly button to your spine. Hands to either side of your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Heel toe yourself once or twice so you don't lose balance. And pivot toward the top of the mat. Right hand on your sacrum. Inhale, left arm up toward the sky. Revolved triangle. Exhale, left pinky toe reaches to your right pinky toe. It might land on your calf or ankle. A book or a block might be good here for support. And you're already in a twist. If this is feeling good for you, stay here. But if you want a little bit more, then inhale, right arm up toward the sky. And exhale. Right hand back down toward your sacrum. Inhale, left arm up toward the sky. Nice. Both hands up toward the sky. And exhale, both hands toward the outer edge or either edge of your right foot. Bring a slight bend into that right knee and half splits. As you press into your right leg, allow that left foot to rise all the way up toward the sky. Your gaze toward the wall behind you. Activate that left glute. Lifting that leg a little bit higher. Little bit higher. Bring a bend into that right knee, a bend into that left knee. And if you can help it, do not let that left foot land. Come all the way up to standing and cross left foot over the right, hands to heart center. Nice. That's probably as spicy as it's going to get today. You're in your figure four, opening up that left hip. The further back you draw your hips, the deeper the hip opening you're going to get. We're here for 3 more breaths. Take any variation that you'd like, hands to heart center, or maybe you allow your hands to come down toward the top of the mat. Okay, inhale, hands back to heart center, rise all the way back up. Keep that sense of energy with you as you draw your left knee towards your chest and step all the way back. Warrior two, left foot faces the long edge of the mat. Windmill your hands right wide open. Nice job. And Windmill your hands over top that right foot. Low runner's lunge. We've been here before. Let's do that flow one more time. Exhale, knee to nose or nose to knee. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to knee. Low runner's lunge. Last time, nose to knee. Exhale, straighten out that right leg. And then come on to low runner's lunge. Plant that left hand nice and firm toward the inner edge of that right foot and inhale, right arm up toward the sky. Exhale, both hands toward the center of the mat and heel toe, that right foot toward the outer edge. Here we are again, a gentle hip opening. Allow that left knee to come all the way down onto the mat. Right hand to your right leg. This time, if you'd like, you can get the tops of that left leg by bringing a bend into that left foot. You might feel it at this point in time, or maybe if you want more than that, reach that right hand back, take hold that left foot for a quadricep stretch. Without slingshotting this left foot back and gently allow it to come all the way down. And let's intensify this hip opening. Peel open onto the outer edge of that right foot. Lizard pose. You can stay exactly as you are, or you can take a little bit more by coming down onto your elbows or maybe forehead on your stacked fists. You can tuck that left foot underneath the mat and lift that left knee up off of the mat if you want to get into those hip flexors just a tad more. And wherever you are, your head is an extension of your neck, so keep it in a nice neutral position. Nice. Inhale. Come back up onto the palm of your hands. Gently allow that left knee to come back down, full sole that right foot back down on the mat, and heel toe that right foot back toward the center of the mat. With your left toe still tucked under, let's do a half splits, half Hanumanasana. Okay, go ahead, rock back onto your right heel. Your hands come right by your shins. Your heart draws toward the top of the mat. So you're not going to feel much if you're rounding your back. You want a nice tall back. If you'd like, this is another place where you could use your blocks for a little bit of support, especially if your hammies and your back leg line is particularly tight today. And if you want a bit more, perhaps you lower down a tad more. Maybe coming from your fingertips onto the palms of your hands, still flat back, heart forward. And that's pretty good. Gently come back and bring a bend into that right knee. Then, this is kind of, I don't know, we'll get a little bit fancy. Top of your left foot down on the mat. Come all the way down onto your left sit bone, which will naturally draw that right leg over top of your left. Haha, we made it. Gomukhasana. So we did Gomukhasana last week so that we could open up our upper body area. Today, we'll focus on the lower body area. Gomukhasana, cow facing pose for the hip opening that it is. You should feel this right in that right hip. You can play around with how far out your feet are versus how close your feet are, just to get into that kind of sweet spot for your hip opening. Inhale, sit tall, ground both sit bones down onto the mat as much as you can. And if you want more, need more, exhale, fold forward. Another option yet, if you do want to get into that upper body a little bit, you can do the Gomukhasana arms that we did last week. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Unwind your legs, hands come forward, feet come behind, tabletop position, and tuck or your toes underneath the mat, high plank, flow through, lower down, Chaturanga or onto your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, stretch out that belly, shoulders away from your ears, and exhale, downward dog. We're working to release, to open up today. There is a little bit of strengthening, but the whole theme of today is just kind of taking our time to feel into our body, feel into each posture. Inhale, left leg up toward the sky. Draw that left heel up toward the ceiling and square your hips toward your mat. Keep pressing through your fingertips and your knuckles. And then go ahead, bring a bend into that knee becoming the highest pose if you can. Fire hydrant. Draw that left or right shoulder away from your right ear. Really press down into your left hand. Bring that leg back to center. Exhale, left knee towards your chest. Activate that core and gaze toward the top of the mat. As gently and as gracefully as you can, plant that left foot in between both hands. Nice. Oh, now we're going to get into that right hip flexor. You may be able to feel a difference between each side of your body. Maybe one side has a tighter hip than the other. Just noticing that for body awareness. And then let's flow, whether you want your blocks beside you or books beside you, or maybe none at all. Exhale, nose to your shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to shin. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Nice. Plant that right hand toward the inner edge of that left foot and left hand up toward the sky. Notice your shoulders stacking. Left shoulder over top of the right as you twist. And exhale, left hand comes down to meet the right. And go ahead, draw that left foot toward the outer edge of the mat, lower down on that right knee. Left hand on left leg, gaze past your left knee. Opening up that left hip, opening up that right hip flexor. Nice. Both hands come on back to center. Draw that left foot back to center. Tuck your right toes underneath the mat. Lift that right knee up and windmill your hands open. Nice. Your warrior two. Take a moment here as you notice the engagement of that left leg, maybe so much so that that left knee comes in line with that left ankle. Arms straight out beside you and then flow. Inhale, straighten out that left leg, hands up toward the sky. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, warrior two. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Stretch up, reach up, and exhale. Warrior two. Keep going. Left elbow on your left leg. Inhale, right arm up and over your right ear. Extended side angle. Notice how that hip is feeling. And perhaps if you would like, take a variation. Left hand toward the inner edge of that left foot. Right hand up toward the sky. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Warrior two, straighten out that left leg, pivot both feet toward the long edge of the mat, hands to either side of your hip. And exhale, forward fold. Eventually, your hands come down. Allow yourself to land on a block, your palms or your elbows. Come back onto the palm of your hands this time. Walk your hands towards your left foot as you allow your right toes to point up toward the sky. We're really increasing the opening through our inner leg line. Use your hands, help you over toward the right foot, left toes point up toward the mat. You guys got it. And just keep going in this manner, just a couple of times, encouraging that inner leg line to open up. If you are feeling energized today, you're feeling strong, then maybe no hands, hands to heart center as you draw yourself from one leg to the other. Only taking as much as you want, as much as you need. Okay. Finish up that last round and then come back into your wide-legged forward fold. Belly button to your spine, hands to the center of the mat, hands to either side of your hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. And heel to yourself once or twice. Pivot both feet toward the front of the mat. Left hand on your sacrum. Inhale, right hand up toward the sky. Revolve triangle. Exhale, right pinky reaches for your left pinky toe. Might land on your calf, your ankle, or block. You're already in a twist, but if you want more, only if you want more, then maybe you inhale that left arm up toward the sky. Left hand comes back down towards your sacrum. Inhale, right hand up toward the sky. Both hands up toward the sky. And exhale, both hands to either side of that left foot. Bring a bend into that left knee, half split. As you're ready, engage that right glute and inhale, right leg up toward the sky. Keep kicking that right leg up toward the sky. Keep bringing your gaze to the wall behind you. And nice. Bring a bend into that left knee. If you can help it, do not allow your right foot to land. Just come all the way back up to standing. Cross right leg over your left, hands to heart center. Figure 4 on this opposite side. Opening up your right hip now. Again, the further back you peel your hips, the deeper the opening. And you choose if you want your hands to heart center, or maybe you want your hands to come down toward the top of the mat. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up and keep that sense of energy with you as you draw. Oh my gosh, I'm wobbling that right knee up toward your chest and kick back with that right foot, landing nice and soft. Oh my gosh, I'm going to fall over into warrior 2. And then windmill your hands over top that left foot. Pick up that right heel. Here we are again, our low runner's lunge. Exhale, straighten out that left foot, nose to your knee. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, low runner's lunge. Exhale, nose to knee. Nice, low runner's lunge. Very last one, nose to knee. This time, maybe using the assistance or support of your block or your books, allow yourself to draw your left toes up toward the sky, really extending this opening through to the bottom half of your back leg line. Awesome job. Full sole that left foot back down, low runner's lunge. Allow that right knee to come all the way down. And inhale, one more twist, left arm up toward the sky. Exhale, both hands to center, left foot all the way toward the outer edge of the mat, and left hand to left leg, full top of the right foot down on the mat. Unless you want to get the top of that right leg, then go ahead, bring a bend into that right knee. You might already feel this in your quadricep. But if you want more than that, reach back with your left hand, take hold that right foot, bringing in the quadricep stretch into this posture. And then without slingshotting this right foot back, gently, gracefully allow it to come all the way back down. Both hands toward the center of the mat. Peel open onto the outer edge of that left foot. So we're deepening this hip opening. Outer edge of that left foot, lizard pose. You choose your own little lizard pose cocktail. If you want to stay as you are, perfect, remain here. If you want to take it a little bit further, you want a deeper opening, then go ahead. Your elbows down onto the mat or onto a block. You might even tuck your right toes underneath and lift that right knee up. Take what you need, leave what you don't. The wisdom of yoga is in knowing what you need and letting yourself have it. Another wisdom of yoga is that you know how far you can challenge yourself. Sometimes you hear yoga teachers talk about finding your edge, that place where you're stretching yourself so you're not slacking off, but you're also not pushing yourself to a point of unsafe practice or injury. Your neck and extension of your spine. Awesome. Come back up onto the palm of your hands. Release from this posture. Allow that right knee to come all the way down. Full sole that left foot back down. Everything back toward the center of the mat. And your half splits pose or half splits pose. Okay, tuck your right toes underneath the mat. And go ahead, rock back onto your left heel, left toes point up toward the sky. Again, when you round your back, you're not going to feel very much. So nice, tall spine. Heart draws toward the top of the mat. And then from here, if you want more, keeping that spine nice and long, go ahead, lower down a little bit more, which apparently I will not be doing today because my left hamstring's super tight. Awesome job. Come back into a low runner's lunge, a bend in that left knee. And then as you point the top of your right foot down on the mat, allow yourself to twirl so that you land all the way down on your right sit bone and then your left sit bone. Go Mukhasana, cow facing pose on the other side. I'm going to turn back around so that we can see each other. So left leg on top of the right. Again, play around with how far out you might want your legs to be, maybe how far in you want your legs to be. Inhale, sitting tall. You always have the option of doing the arms that go with it if you prefer to open up your shoulders. Otherwise, if you really want to keep the focus on the hips, inhale, sit tall. And exhale, fold forward. Only if you need to fold forward, only if you want to fold forward. Nice. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Unwind your legs. This time, unwind them toward the top of your mat or bottom of your mat, whichever way you choose to face. For Dandasana, your staff pose, both feet out toward the top of the mat. Use your hands to remove the fleshy bits of your sit bones away from you. Inhale, sit tall, and let's do one last forward fold. Exhale, arms up toward the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips and lead with your chest. Allow your hands to land wherever they need to land. And inhale, rise all the way up. Bring a bend into your knees, soles of your feet down on the mat. And let me get this thing out of the way. Roll all the way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock from side to side. That cow facing pose that we just did, we're going to do it again lying down. And it's going to still help your hips, but also the outer edges of your legs. I know that if we sit a lot or actually run a lot, the IT band gets so tight. So this feels so good for it. Okay, with your legs still up in the air, cross your right knee over your left, just like you did in cow facing pose. And if you have the space, go ahead, grab your ankles. If you can't grab your ankles, grab your calves. That's good too. And as you settle into this posture, and if you realize that you want a little bit more than that, then just go ahead gently. Use the leverage of that left foot and draw it into the right. And you'll feel this through that right hip and also into the sides of your right leg as well. Nice job. Gently unwind your legs and other side. Left knee over top of your right. Take hold of your calves or your ankles. And take your time here. There's no rush. Only when you feel settled in your posture. Then perhaps, if you want more, need more, go ahead, draw that right knee into your left. And go ahead, gently release from this posture, both soles of your feet back down on the mat. And we'll end off with a gentle and cleansing twist. Shift your hips over toward the right. Allow your knees to drift over toward the left. Stretch your arms right wide out beside you and your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, knees back to center. Shift your hips over toward the left and allow your knees to fall over toward the right. Right hand over your legs. If you want a little bit of an anchor, your gaze past your left shoulder. Your knees come on back to center. Nice. And take 3 breaths back to that body awareness to complete your practice before Shavasana with any additional postures you might want or you might like, including happy baby. Maybe you want to do little bridge, or maybe you just want to get into Shavasana, and that's good too. On that third breath, find yourself in the final posture of the day, Shavasana, legs straight out in front of you, hands down beside you, palms face the sky, feet flopped out to either which way. We're going to take our Shavasana a little bit differently today because we just released this huge area in our hips and our legs that hold on to so much of the, what can we call it, like the gunk that we pick up in our day-to-day lives, the stressors that we pick up in our day-to-day lives. So you really want to settle even at least for a minute in Shavasana if you can, to help everything integrate and kind of flow through. Continue to shift and move to where it needs to be. I'm talking about the energy that we're releasing. So we're going to take it a little bit differently so that we can really emphasize the release of tension through our bodies that we've been cultivating this whole class. Let's start with one releasing breath. A long, deep inhale through your nose. And exhale. Side out through your mouth, letting it all go. Feel yourself sink in, sink down, and there is a sense of softness right away with that breath. Take one more long, deep inhale through your nose. And don't hold back. sigh it out through your mouth, letting it all go, feeling your body softening. And then let's bring activation into our body. We're going to tighten every single part of ourselves. Start with your toes, squeezing your toes, squeezing your legs, feeling your calves tighten, your hamstrings and your buttocks tighten, tightening the hips, tightening your core, your abs, your arms. Make fists with your hands. Maybe your shoulders even shrug up towards your ears. Just everything is just so tight, and we're bringing tension into this so that we can exhale, release the tension. One more time. Tightening every single part of your body, making fists with your hands, fists with your feet. Feel that feel that tightening in your calves, in your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your hips, your buttocks, your core, all the way through to your shoulders, your neck, and even your eyes are shutting closed so tight. You might even be shaking or vibrating a little bit, and everything squeezes, then release. A deep inhale through your nose, and exhale, sigh it out through your mouth. Sink in, sink down. And allow this emphasized sensation of release, of tension travel throughout your body. There's this softening from the crown of your head down through your neck and your shoulders, both arms, your hands, trunk of your body, your hips, your legs, and your feet. And as you breathe these long, deep inhales and long, deep exhales, use your breath as you visualize on every inhale. You inhale, replenishing everything that might feel tired, everything that needs a little bit of healing. And when you exhale, you're letting go. Anything that weighs heavy on you, things that do not serve. Inhale, replenish. And exhale, let go. Inhale, replenish. And exhale, let go. And so you begin to really notice yourself as a system, constant ebbing and flowing, of inflow and outflow. That it's not about everything being one way. It's not about everything being good all the time or everything not being stressful any of the time. About this harmony of this ebb and the flow and the yin and the yang. About the balance between the two. Keeps us at the most joyous level, most peaceful level. And of course, in the world that we live in, usually it's more about the accumulation of the stressors. And that's where a nice hip opening and hamstring opening sequence is so good, because you're bringing everything back to balance. That it's not that you'll never have any stressors in your life ever again. It's that now you have an outlet for it. As you drift and you float, allow this to integrate. And allow yourself to complete your practice with five of the fullest, deepest breaths that you've taken all day long. Inhale, replenish. Exhale, letting go. And then gently reawaken. Bring a little bit of movement back into your body, your hands and your feet, your arms and your legs. Maybe even draw your arms up overhead for a nice deep stretch. As you exhale, draw your knees into your chest, your arms around your knees. Maybe rock from side to side if it feels good. Eventually, tip over onto one side or the other. And use your hands slowly help yourself up into a seated position. Hands come to heart center. Bow in toward yourself, taking a moment here to recognize yourself for coming back onto your mat today. For your strength, for your willingness. And with this rediscovered sense of inner stillness, of clarity, know that you've prepared yourself to approach the remainder of your day, maybe even the remainder of your week, with this sense of clarity, newfound peace and stillness within you. Gently flutter your eyes open. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I can't wait to see you either on Thursday for restorative or next Monday for our next flow. Okay, namaste.